Looking for something new? Looking for something new in dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, alternative history? They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. Get the 10-volume box set with 159 stories and full color illustrations plus 34 articles with writings and art tips. Get the UPRN discount, $125 for the entire box set. That's a $60 savings for that beautiful box set. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Go to uprntalkradio.com, click on the link, and place your order.
Looking for stories that are fresh and new? Dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, cyberpunk, alternate history, and more. They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology from 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Well, hey, good evening, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? I must be on some kind of lag here, I think. I'm not sure. Hey, Johnny. Hi, Virginia. Hi, Grandmaster UV. Hey, Cindy. Welcome to the show. Oh, what a beautiful day today, huh? It was gorgeous. Every day I wake up is a gorgeous day. You know what I mean? It is. It's great. The show is on Sunday nights, as you could tell, 8 to 10, 8 to 9. And on Tuesday night, it's going to be on from 8:10 to 9:10. So I'm really excited to start getting into the hours because the hour shows are really, really, really great. Hey, Cindy, good to see you. I am on UPRN Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. And I just want to welcome you to the show tonight. I caught the tail end of Jenny's show, Chasing Prophecy, and you know what? It seemed pretty cool. She's doing an awesome job, and it's good to see her back on Tuesday nights. It's going to be great, you know. So, but I'm doing okay. Thanksgiving is over with, and I'm a happy camper. Yes, Johnny, it was. Yeah. She's a good host. She gets like really cool guests on too, man. And you know, that's the one thing I enjoyed working with Jenny was that she would get these cool guests on, and I was like, and they're great, you know, and they have some meaning, and the people that she does get as guests, you know, share a lot of. Hi, Cindy. A lot of interesting aspects of life, you know. So I am so lucky that she comes on before me because, you know, right now I got chills. But, you know, tonight's going to be a cool show. Like I said, and like you have told me, and I have told you that, you know, doing 1 hour shows, 1 hour shows are great. Okay. I'm not pushed. I'm not relaxing, and I can enjoy and be. Hey, Jenny, good to see you. Sebastian Moran, good evening, Shawn. Jenny had a great show, and so do you. Thank you. Jenny does. She's the best. But yeah, we're going to have a good time tonight. Yes, we are. What I want to do is I want to talk about my favorite investigations. Anybody out there in the chat? Hey, Amanda, good to see you. Anybody in the chat have any favorite places that they have investigated? or want to investigate, share in the chat room. Um, and we can, share, where you want to go, what you want to do. So I would have to say I'm going to do as many as I can because there was a lot of places that I went to. Um, and I remember when we started out, okay, when we first started out back in 2006, um, we, and Johnny might know where this place is at. What we went to the bike trail along the Mon River. See, I think it's called the Allegheny Bike Trail. And hey, Squatch man, good to see you, pal. I hope you have seen some. Wonder if you have seen any Squatches, dude. If you did, share them, buddy. But it was the Allegheny Bike Trail, and what was really cool about this investigation that we did, we were brand new, so. Virginia investigated the refrigerator an hour ago. Did you find anything spooky in there? That's funny. But the Allegheny Trail bike trail was an awesome place. We parked down near Boston, PA, down near McKeesport, I do believe it is. And we started walking the trail, and as we were walking down the trail, it was at night, and it was like really totally creepy. You know what I mean? They just had a couple lights, street lights going on, and we did see a lot of. I'm gonna just put it up while I talk, okay? Virginia says that see LOL. Okay, Virginia investigated. Okay, but back to the story. There we go. Yeah. So we were walking down the Allegheny Bike Trail, and yes, Joni, there was a ton of shadow people down there, and there was a lot of stories about the bike trail. It led to, I do believe. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Joni, but if you follow the trail, you come to the Traversburg Cemetery. I think it's that one. I'm not sure. But as we were walking down, oh my God, it was crazy. But what we were looking for, because a lot of people told us that sometimes, okay, Joni said yes. Okay, so it's like, hey, Casey, good to see you. So we're walking down, and people say that sometimes you can see spirits walking with lanterns, walking down the trail. To be honest with you, we didn't see anything like that, right? But what we really did see was a lot of shadow people, and different smells like tobacco smell, pipe smell, cigar smell. And as you're walking down the trail toward the cemetery, okay, and you look up the right, you got the river going on, but there was like this really, really massive field, okay? And it just felt like that there was a lot of fighting going on around there. And what I mean by fighting, down on the Mon River, and again, I say that the Mon River, the Mon Valley is like the most haunted place in Pennsylvania. Just take any pike trail, the Allegheny Pike Trail, and you will definitely see some shadow people, some orbs popping out of nowhere, a lot of squigglies, and so that was a really, really creepy investigation. But here's the craziest part. So we made it to the cemetery. Okay. Now across the river, okay, there was train tracks, right? And so we were doing like EVP sessions, sitting down at a grave, and we were doing some EVPs. And you know what? Every time that we would ask a question, okay, not all the time, but the train would come through. okay, and blow its horn. And it was like, and it was really like crazy because we really wanted to do a nice EVP, but it just seems like every time that we attempted to do one, um, the train just came by and it was frustrating. So to say that we had any, we didn't get no good EVPs, but we did get a lot of evidence. And at that time, to me, evidence was orbs or squigglies or anything, sometimes a shadow. We honestly, back then in 2006, when we started, we really, really did not um, know what we were doing, basically, or we didn't know what we were seeing on the videos and the cameras. You have to remember back in 2006, all we had was digital cameras. And I think the highest one at the time was like 8 megapixel. I'm not sure. But when the 12s came out, you had something going because that was like top of the line, 12 megapixels. Um, Johnny says, train would come, same with me on phone. Okay. So that was our trip. Did we get any good evidence? No, we didn't. Okay. And then we looked at the pictures and we all got together at Eaton Park on Sunday night and we would show everybody's pictures and we didn't get nothing. Maybe a slight orb here, maybe like dew coming off the leaves of the trees, um, or just like fireflies. I don't know about you, but what I really enjoy the most is taking pictures. And what's crazy though, here's what's the crazy part. If you take a picture and you look at it, the the bugs that fly around, you can actually see their wings in motion. It's like really, 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 really cool. But that to me is one of my favorite places to go, the Allegheny Bike Trail. Now, the second place that I really enjoy going to was the Montour Bike Trail. Okay. If you go down 79 South from Pittsburgh and you get off at the Hendersonville exit, the Hendersonville South Point exit, then you will just get off. And when you get off the exit, you want to make a left and you'll go down to like a ice cream shop. And that's where you park. That's where a lot of people park their cars so they can ride the trail. But here's the story behind that. Okay. Before it became the bike trail, it was actually another railroad. Um, and I want to say 1923. If you go down like about 2 or 3 miles, if you walk down the Montour Trail, you come to a tunnel. Okay. And back in the 1920s or something like that, there was a massive train wreck that happened at the tunnels. Now, the first time that we went there, we went down, but the bridge was like bad. I mean, you couldn't walk it because it was that terrible. But there was a train wreck that happened in that tunnel. But walking along the trail, again, we saw a lot of shadows and we got a lot of good pictures. Okay. And this time when we were walking the trail at Montour, um, we caught a lot of mist. Okay. In the paranormal field, they call it ectoplasma, is what they call it. Okay. And it was pretty cool. Now, here, hold on. Let me turn off my sound here because it's getting on my nerves and it's interfering with my show here. And I know you guys don't want to hear it. So let me take care of this. There we go. We're good. All right. So no more interruptions. But we got a lot of mist, and they were pretty interesting too. It was like the mist would actually look like human beings. Okay. It was just crazy, man. And we were so excited about it that we had to go back again. We caught a lot of decent orbs. Now, before I go on, let me tell you about orbs. At that time when we did the bike trail in Montour, um, it was like in the early time, like 2007, 2008. And I loved the orbs. I thought they looked really, really cool. Um, and we got a lot of them. But I come to find out later on, as I did my own research on orbs, a lot of that was like dew, um, bugs, whatever. Okay. And hey, Mud, what's up? Good to see you, buddy. And so but it was so cool to grab these orbs. And I think we actually got one good orb on that. See, whenever I would go on an investigation, and I would take at least 400 pictures, and that's the truth, I would take about 400 pictures. And whenever I would go the next day and look at my pictures, I went through all 400 of them, and to me at the time, out of those 400 pictures, if I got one good piece of evidence, I was okay with it. Oh, I remember the bug nest story. Good to see you, hon. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Amanda. I don't know if I said hello to you, buddy, but hello. And it was it was great, you know. But we went back like 2 or 3 years later, and here they fixed the road. So, I mean, they fixed the bridge, so you could actually cross, the water, whatever it was, and go directly into the bridge. And when you go into the bridge, I'm sorry, when you go into the bridge, when you go into the tunnel, I'm telling you, you heard screams, screams of people, getting hurt, right? And you actually like smell burned flesh or something really nasty stench when you went through there. But we didn't get a lot of evidence per se, video and audio, but with your own ears, you can actually hear the people screaming. And we never went back. Never went back, because it really. I could say that tunnel really freaked me out. And you can even ask Doreen. She was with the group. She said there was hardly anything would freak me out, but that tunnel did. Um, what's that? The Pookie? Okay. You mean spooky? Okay, Virginia, that's all right. And oh, Amanda, she said she paused a minute to investigate the pumpkin pie. Huh, that's cool. I like pumpkin pie. But that was, it. What was so great about the trail? Hey, Tony, good to see you, buddy. You going to be on next week? Um, I got to talk to you after the show if you are, or tomorrow. But it's like crazy. We actually came back one time. The second time that we came back, we actually caught a bobcat following us because we heard some growling, right? And we were flashing, the flashlight. It was a little hill because right above it was a golf course. And as we were, putting this flashlight back and forth, all of a sudden you see these yellow eyes look at you. And I was like, holy shit, yellow eyes, man, that just wasn't good. Nope, nope. So we kind of booked out of there quick. But that was one of my best investigations. So you can only go to a place for a certain amount of times, and then it wears off. But I really, really did enjoy um, going outside and investigating. Um, Doreen, if you're still on, what was that cemetery out by you in Plum? I think it was in Plum. I'm not sure. That was another. Oh, coyotes. I have a story about coyotes, so I'm coming up to that. But there was a cemetery up past. I think it was in Plumboro. I'm not sure. And we saw a lot of shadow figures running the tree lines, on top of the above the cemetery. Okay, and man, we were up there. We were running after them, trying to, like try to actually get a picture of the shadow figure. Maybe we got an orb of some sort. Who knows? But okay. Cindy has a question. She says, "Do you get scared when you smell the sulfur dead fish smell?" No, dear, I don't. I don't. I don't know why. You got to see whenever I went on investigations, I know, the big man upstairs, he was watching over me. So I really didn't have no fear about going, when I smelled that kind of stuff. Um, but to say that we saw a lot of the shadow people running up and down um, across the tree line, but we saw it with our eyes, but we could not pick up on the cameras. And, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Um, if you catch one, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But at the time, we were still wet behind the ears investigating. So we were like kind of disappointed that nobody could actually, get one of those shadow people on film. Now, we did try doing a ton of EVPs, but you know what? Nothing came through. You know, all you heard was frogs chirp, riveted, and you heard a lot of birds, and you heard a lot of insects going. And that's the only downfall about going out investigating somewhere outside, especially in the summertime, because you have what them crickets going at it. So it's really hard to do an EVP when you're outside and close to the woods. You know. At 8:30, as you know, I'm going to take a 2-minute break so we know who has to go to the bathroom. Plus, I want everybody to get up and get something to drink, so we can finish up the next half hour. I'll come up with a couple more places that I thought were really cool. But cemeteries, bike trails, anywhere really, anywhere outside the woods, you know. If you actually walk through the town of Gettysburg at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, okay, so y'all have to remember, um, uh, you have to remember though, back then, when the battle continued, they actually fought through the town. And there was a lot of dead soldiers in the town of Gettysburg. So it's real quiet up there after 12 midnight. And I got some good stuff up there, you know, a couple good shadow catches on the camera and a couple of good EVPs, So it was okay. So it wasn't so much the battlefield, but it was the areas around the battlefield. And that's the secret. That's the secret. Whenever you go to like Antietam, if you go to Gettysburg, if you go to any battlefield, um, don't just go on the battlefield itself, okay? Seriously, go to places around it. Um, and, and it's great. I remember when we first started investigating houses, right? When we first started, Donnie Wagner, he was part of the group, and he came up with an idea, because we usually ask the people where the main hotspots were in the house. But what he would do was go to different places of the house or the building, and he caught some good evidence doing that. I mean, so people are saying the ghost is in the living room and in the bedroom. So Donnie would go down to the cellar, or he would actually go up to the attic, and he would get some because he seemed to realize. You have to realize, right? Okay, when when you go to investigate a place, now a lot of other groups actually have been there, so the ghosts aren't dumb, and they know what you want. They want that really. All investigators really want that great picture and stuff like that, that great video, and sometimes it doesn't. And what's crazy? Here's what's crazy part about it: the spirit knows that. So you might be in the same room with the spirit, but there's no way that spirit's going to come and give you some evidence. But I'm going to cut to our commercials so everybody can get something to drink, and then I will be right back. Hope to see you on the second part of the show. Let's go there, and I'll do this.
Looking for stories that are fresh and new? Dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, cyberpunk, alternate history, and more. They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology from 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Looking for something new in dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, alternative history? They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. Get the 10-volume box set with 159 stories and full-color illustrations plus 34 articles with writings and art tips. Get the UPRN discount, $125 for the entire box set. That's a $60 savings for that beautiful box set. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Go to uprntalkradio.com, click on the link, and place your order.
Hey, so welcome back to the second part of my show, Into the Night. I have a couple announcements I need to make. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m., I am going to be on a very prestigious podcast tomorrow night. It's called The Horsefly Chronicles. And that's with Phil Siracusa and his wife Julia. And I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm going to be a guest on the Horsefly Chronicles tomorrow night on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. And then Tuesday night, for my Tuesday night show, I'm going to have Philip Siracusa and Julia, from the Horsefly Chronicles come on our show. It's going to be a very interesting 2 days. It's really great. I'm really seriously looking forward to that because they are good people. And Phil's like, he's a paranormal investigator. He's also a spiritualist, I do believe, and he does a lot of neat things in the mystical role, which is like really cool. So remember, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, I will be on the Horsefly Chronicles. And Tuesday, they're going to be on my show Into the Night. I was at my friend's wedding today real quick, and that's my friend who has that CRPS disease where she's into a lot of pain. We're getting close to the end of November here. So if you could please say some prayers for her and her people who are suffering this bad disease. There's no cure for it. All they can do is deal with the pain, and they get a lot of it's just sad. It really is, because he's always um, in pain. So Cindy has a question here. What part of the houses have you caught the most activities? That's a good question. Honestly, most was actually the cellar. Cellars are creepy, dude. Now, here in Pittsburgh, to the people who don't have cellars or don't live in houses that have cellars, Pittsburgh has them. And it is like crazy, crazy scary, because, it seems like the spirits like to hang out down in there. At one point in time, and I'm being honest with you when I say this, you can pick up a lot of negativity happening down there. And what I'm talking about is back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, okay, you could you could punish your child. And that's where a lot of people, dads especially, would take their children down and they were bad and spank them down in the cellar. So, yes. Hannah, welcome to the show, Hannah. Near battlefields, I would say find field hospitals, houses that were used for hospitals. I'm glad you said that, because a lot of the places, in Gettysburg, there was a lot of barns that were hospitals, and there was one place up there, and it just was so scary, so scary, and a lot of depression, a lot of bad feeling there, and all you can do is like, you know, feel for what the pain that they were going through. But as time went on, to be honest with you, you really need to take your um, feelings, your empathic feelings, and just like tune them out when you go to any battlefield, because 100% you're going to feel the pain, and it's not a good thing. Let's see, I got some new comments down here. Amanda, thank you for all the prayers. Amanda says, what did Amanda say? Prayers for sure. Dear Lord, embrace Shawn's friend who suffered and endured this incurable disease. Thank you, Lord. Amanda, thank you so much. I will tell her about the beautiful prayer you just asked. Johnny says, mostly dark areas and cellars. Yes, especially if you go to an old house. They had, coal cellars, because at that time they used coal to heat the house. And sometimes they actually kept, they would clean it out, and that's where they would punish the people. Will the real Sean Kelly stand up? Okay, let's see. Here I am. I'm standing up there, Michael. Good to see you. See, that's how I am. Welcome to the show, Michael. It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping in on the show. It really means a lot to me. And so, yeah, the coal center and the cellars are just like, are the scariest, to be honest with you. But like I said before, real quick, you go to Gettysburg, you go to Antietam, whatever, just make sure you somehow shield yourself from all the emotions that you can feel from the soldiers that have passed away there, because the energy is really, really rough there. So we are talking about my favorite places where I investigated, and we're coming up on the good ones. The very first one, to me, is like my number one, and I mentioned it a couple times on the shows. The place is called Prospect Place. Okay, I'll type it here in the comments. Prospect Place, Trimway, Ohio. Okay, that is the place where I really experienced a lot of activity. There's a lot of history behind it. Okay, okay. I see what I meant. There's a lot of history behind it. I know that the place was built in the early 1900s. Please, if you can, Google it. Google Prospect Place, Trimway, Ohio, and it will actually give you the whole history of the place. They do offer overnight investigations, and they do offer like tours during the daytime. If you really seriously want to go to a good place, and it's not far from Pittsburgh. I would have to say about maybe three hours, 2 hours, something like that. It's not that bad. Uh, Sebastian Moran says 20 Pittsburgh time. Oh, 8 o'clock. Is that what you're talking about, Sebastian? Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. Well, I'll know right now. Cindy Mitch says, have you found houses surrounded by water and water flowing in the basement more haunted? You know what? There's a place up at Moraine State Park. It's a mill, and the water runs through the mill. Now there was a lot of people saying that there was one ghost that would walk around the mill, and we actually saw him walk around, but we never could not get them on video or audio. But it's a really scary place to go to, especially with the water, because it's fast running water and a lot of people die there. So you have to be careful when you go up there. McConnell's Mill, that's the name of the place. Let me type that in there real quick. McConnell. And okay, that's McConnell's Mill. And again, please, whatever I give you, kind of like Google it and just read up the history on the whole situation. Yeah, Johnny, it's a good place. It's it's very haunted. Um, but like I said before, Prospect Place was it was my actual first place to go where to do an overnight, you know, investigation. Do you have to pay money? Did we pay money? What's that? Need swimming? What is IRSSINS? I don't know what that is. Oh, need swimming lessons. Okay, Virginia. No, I wouldn't even go near that water. I mean, that water is so fast that the water on the rocks um, are so slippery that you'd fall in and die. Yeah, I got it. Thank you, guys. But so McConnell's Mill was a very haunted area. And up in that area near Moraine State Park, there is a cemetery. It's called Snyder Cemetery. Let me type that in for you. Snyder Cemetery. Okay. And what Snyder Cemetery was that the Snyder family that kind of like owned the whole area around Moraine, they actually had a house, and you could actually see the brick is still there from, they tore it down or it burned down, whatever. But they had the cemetery plot for the family members. And we went in there, and what was crazy about that night, let me tell you how crazy that night was. We walked in, I mean, it was in the summertime, okay? And, the crickets were going at it, and there was a lot of noise, birds calling, whatever. The minute we walk into that cemetery, on my father's grave, okay, everything got quiet. Everything. No more birds, no more crickets, nothing. Now, if I have to tell you, was I afraid? Hell yeah, I was afraid, because that's the craziest thing in the world, right? When you're out and you go into a cemetery and you don't hear no noise at all. That's like the making of, one of them chiller movies, one of them scary movies where some guy comes out of the forest and uses an axe on you. But we got a lot of good evidence on there. It was great. We got a lot of mist, a ton of mist, and it was good. You know, orbs, your basic, everyday, ordinary, you know, photographs or whatever you get when you go investigate. So it is, you know, if you really, and I'm not being egotistical, I was scared as hell. I mean, when I heard no more noise, you know, I'll be the first one to tell you if I don't feel right, you know, I just ask for more blessings, more prayers from God, man. That's the man who watches over me, the big man. So, and then there was the one place, oh God, Route 51. It is has oh shit, I forget the name of it, but it's you can't investigate the north. But there's a cemetery. If I can remember the name, I will put it. I will tell you guys next week. But we went there, and it was ran by Quakers, right? That's how old this cemetery was. And in the middle of the cemetery, okay, there was like a little chapel, right? And so we walk into the chapel, you know, and we did our investigation. And as God is my witness, there was this big old Quaker dude standing in the corner with red eyes. I'm not crapping. I'm being totally honest. That was scary. But here, let me tell you something. A lady in a red. Okay, that was another ghost that was supposed to be hanging around there. You know, so the lady in red, um, in a red dress, but we never saw her. But I remember the first time we went there. Okay, what happened was Periopolis. Thank you, sir. Quaker Church. Thank you, sir. Quaker Church. That I'm telling you, John, you have to admit that that's a creepy place to go to. But here's what happened. So the guy was in the group, and what he did was he instigated that big old Quaker that was in the corner down there, and so um, after the investigation, we get in our cars, turn around as we're going out, boom, you hear a loud bang. And so we pulled over and hear the guy who instigated that situation with that Quaker dude. Um, he had he got a flat tire. But here's the crazy part of that flat tire. On the inside of the tire, there was a slit that big on the inside of his truck wheel tire. No lie. And if you looked at it, it was perfectly straight, like someone stuck a knife in there and boom, flattened it out. There was nobody else on that road because it is a country road where Quaker Church is. And so I'm thinking to myself, you know what? You kind of screwed up, dude, because you called it out and the dude got a flat tire. You know, he thought it was funny, but I didn't think it was funny. So if you do go out and you do investigate, make sure you respect the spirits that are there. Please. Yep, Quaker Church Road. Go down 51, you hit the McDonald's, hang right, and just follow that road. Um, but those are like some of the good places that I have been to. I could tell you many more, but you know, I'll wait for a certain Sunday, another Sunday coming up, and then I'll just bring you out some more. If I can't find a topic, I would be more than happy to tell you all about them, and I'm sure you will enjoy them. Does anybody out there have any questions that they would like to ask before I get into the cards? Because we are getting close to the witching hour, and if anybody has it, I would like to say that I really truly appreciate to see everybody come into the chat room. I really do, And if you can, whenever I send out the link when the show starts, if you could pass it on to other people, I really would be thankful and grateful if you could do that. Johnny Freeman said there's a better church a few miles away, a red stone church. Huh. Oh, speaking of red stone churches, there. Oh my God, what's the name of the place? Why can't I remember where to go? Where these areas are at? Finleyville, Pennsylvania. There's a red church, and honest to Pete, honest to Pete, the cemetery sits on a real steep slope. I mean, you literally are walking up a hill. And I remember we went up there and we were sitting at the top because it was so damn hot, and I got out of breath. Mud says Bigfoot sightings along river in Periopolis by Buffalo Bill's house. That's a cool place to go investigate, Buffalo Bill. But and so one time I was going through a meditation and I woke up, took a picture, no shit, honestly, and you could actually see a picture of a chief's headdress. It was huge, man. Kind of creeped my ass out, you know what I mean? But so that place, I don't know the name of the church. Only know that it is in Finleyville, Pennsylvania, and we got some decent evidence there. You know, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It was cool, man. No, honest to Pete, when I got the picture, you could actually see not like real solid headdress, but you could actually see the feathers through the mist. You know, it was like really, really cool. You know, and I have time to give you one more real quick, and then we'll get into the cards for everybody. So the last one that I want to share is the one out in New Brighton, Pennsylvania. There is a cemetery out there, and we went there on a real hot night. And so what happened was my friend Val, she took a picture, okay, and come to find out we got a full body apparition, okay. And when I learned how to use other things of StreamYard, I will show you that picture. And it was a full body apparition. I showed Johnny it. I think I showed Johnny. I think I sent that to you. And but once I learn, I'm going to start, giving you some pictures that I have caught what I think are the best. Because you all know that when it comes to picture taking, I don't like putting them out there, but with these I do. Okay, I hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight. I'm going to draw these cards. And remember the deal, I'm going to draw you 3 animal cards. One from the past, one for the now. Cindy, you'll be amazed. I mean, they're really nice. And what's really cool was that we had a full body pick of a spirit, but it disappeared. Oh, wow. You know what, Amanda? I contribute that to sometimes we're not supposed to have things. Sometimes we're not supposed to have pictures of full body spirits or nothing like that. We know we took it, right? We know we got it, but all of a sudden it goes away. But I have another story to tell you for another Sunday about that. So remember, now I'm going to draw the cards. 3. The first one is from your past. The second is your now. And the third is your future. So how I want you to do this is, as I tell everybody, write down the animals, okay? And then after the show, go Google them and see if these animals are somehow in your life or your walk, your path, what you're going through right now. So that was a blank. So there's no animals. Let's say, okay, the past is an eagle. Okay, so write it down. The second one, the one now, is the dog. And you know what? I know dog means loyalty. Yes, but for yourself, just go out and check and see what Google has to say about these things. And the third one, oh, these are all good cards today. The deer. This is your future. Whoop. See if I can get up there. The deer. Please write these animals down. And the eagle was in your past, right? And the dog was what's happening with you in the now. And your future is the deer. So look them up and see if they could represent you. Now, I'll be honest with you. Um, Sometimes it doesn't work for everybody. Sometimes them cards don't mean nothing. But I'm sure there's somebody out there in the whole world and in the chat room, and we'll see. Maybe have something for them. Maybe like they'll give them a kick in the butt to get doing things that they need to do. All right. So again, thank you for coming on. Watching. Into the light. And we are on 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. And Joe Montaldo is the station owner. Michelle Desiree, she is the station manager. So those are the two big bosses that I look up to, and they're good people. So if you have any complaints, any good things you want to say about my show, please send them an email, and just go to UPRN Talk Radio, and there is a little button there that you can send an email to. Okay. And on that note, okay, what do we got here? Joni says, thank you for a great show. Thank you, Joni, for being here. Amanda, Virginia, thank you, Virginia. Appreciate it. Cindy Mitch, they always work for me, Shawn. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. And Mud says, thank you for an awesome show, Shawn. Well, thank you for, being here. I truly appreciate it. Honestly, it warms my heart. It really does. And before I go, I have to tell you, parents, if you can, please go to your children, right? And give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And seriously mean say, I love you. And children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. If you don't have any children, or if your parents aren't around, find somebody, find a friend, and give them a hug and tell them you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long, long way. You'll be surprised how people need to hear that. And it is coming up on Christmas now. We got 2 more holidays to go through. And again, this is the most depressing time of the year for everybody, or almost everybody. So please, if you can, if you see somebody struggling, give them, sit down and talk with them. You don't even have to talk to them. Just be there with them. Do, talk. Just be there. Take them out for a cup of coffee. Go from there. You know what I mean? Because people need people now. They do. I know I need people, but I know I got great friends on here on my show and I have great friends that don't even watch the show. But I have no problem going up and asking for help. I have no problem at all. So on that note, I want to say goodbye. Remember, I'll be on the Horsefly Chronicles tomorrow night, Monday at 8 p.m. And don't forget my Irish show on Tuesday night. Okay, but one Irish show, Tuesday night. Yeah, I probably said Irish there. On that note, good night, everybody. Have a good day, good evening, and I will see you on Tuesday. And let me see if I can find it. Good night, everybody.